Well, if you're here in Chicago, you've probably been a fan of the Cubs. They've been doing great this season and are doing phenomenally well in the playoffs. And I'm here talking with Jerry Riles, who's the host and executive producer with the Rewind Sports 60, which is a phenomenal resource in sports. And we want to talk about the Cubs and things like, for example, ticket prices, which have been going skyrocketing.
Yeah. Hey, Pritz, first of all, thank you for having me on the program. It's a pleasure and an honor to be on board with you here. As far as ticket prices are concerned, out of the roof for sure. Last year at this time when the Cubs made the postseason play, the tickets were going somewhere from $70 to $250. They're up now at the start of the playoffs between $100 and $325. So you can see the increase in just a year.
And that's the face value. I mean, I've seen like scalpers and such in the thousands and multiple thousands.
Well, you talk about thousands as the Cubs continue to progress, and if they're capable of getting past the Los Angeles Dodgers in this series to advance to the World Series for the first time since 1945, what's going to happen is ticket prices are expected to reach at least somewhere between $2,000 and $3,000. But here's the interesting thing. If they happen to take on either Cleveland or the Toronto Blue Jays out of the American League, I've talked to some fans who said they won't buy tickets here in Chicago to go to Wrigley. They're going to go to either one of the other towns because ticket prices will be somewhere around $800 to maybe $1,000.
Or in Canadian.
Exactly. So, exactly.
An exchange rate play.
So there's the difference there as far as ticket prices are concerned.
Well, and of course, this isn't just the Cubs that have had that happen. I mean, this has happened in many other sports. The Super Bowl naturally has much higher ticket prices as well. But now, that's supporting, of course, things like an improved ballpark and all sorts of things that the Ricketts family have done for the Cubs. So tell us a little bit about that.
You know what? The Ricketts have done a fantastic job as far as building up Wrigleyville. Many of you guys probably remember over the 5-year building process that they ran into a lot of stumbling blocks, whether it's with the city council and the mayor as far as getting the rights to start to build. The citizens there as far as the rooftop owners are concerned. But they've steadily been able to overcome each and every obstacle. They even had a 100-season loss, and they've turned it around to win 103 games this past season. So they've definitely made some improvements and some changes. And what's interesting about Wrigleyville and the developments of what's taking place there, talk to some business owners. Sluggers, for instance, Steve Strauss over there, said that business for him has been incredible because of all the success that's going on. They've torn down buildings in the area to erect the hotels and the plaza.
I remember there was a McDonald's across the street for you know, 20, 30, 40 years when I was a kid, and I mean, it's gone now, of course.
It certainly is, and the Ricketts have done a fantastic job tearing down the team from scratch, the minor league system, building it up to what we see today. So, of course, outside the ballpark as well, and they did buy up, I think, at least 7 of the rooftops out there.
And if our viewers don't understand, of course, the ballpark is in the city, it's surrounded by a neighborhood, and these rooftops are literally 3-, 4-, or 5-story townhouses and row houses with rooftop bleachers that sort of historically they've had games, and the independent operators of these rooftops have had parties up there and such. So it's been a little bit of a thorn in the side of the Ricketts family. Yeah,
but they figured, you know, you can't beat them, join them. And when I say join them, they offered, I think, 7 of the building owners, a buyout, and they jumped on it. I think there are only 2 buildings in that area, one on Waveland and one on Sheffield, that still are privately owned.
Well, now another aspect is what they've done in marketing, and not just marketing the Cubs themselves.
Sure.
For example, Fly the W, the big campaign about winning the season, but also things like the large jumbotrons that are in the park now, which of course many of the fans were really against because they were traditionalists. They've sort of crossed in between where they have now the old manual scoreboard and the big electronic scoreboards living together in harmony.
You know what, with the young brass that they have over there, Tom Ricketts was very clever in, let's say, stealing President Theo Epstein from the Boston Red Sox. 5 years ago, 2011, he brought him over here for a 5-year deal for $18 million. They just signed an extension, 5 years, $55 million. So Theo brought the concept of we have to get younger, we have to get better, and we have to be modernized. And that Jumbotron out in the outfield was a real big stickler.
And of course, filling in some of the spots where the youngsters were with some of the seasoned old hands that have kind of brought the whole team together in a cohesive unit.
Sure.
Well, yeah, let's talk about the players then. So, of course, Theo Epstein has been running a great ship, and they even actually have had rumors about wanting to nominate him for mayor of Chicago. I don't think that's very serious.
I don't know if I know there's some fans in this town who want to go that far, i.e. White Sox fans.
I want to thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so very much. It's a pleasure being on the program.